welcome to the Starting Line podcast with me, Rich Lee. Now, today's guest is a bit of an enigma. He's hard to categorise. You could say that he is an influencer, but he wouldn't like that very much. Because you see, Big John, he became prominent in his late 40s a couple of years ago. He's got a penchant for... Penchant? Why do I try and say words when I'm not sure? He's got a penchant for Chinese food, lots of it, and saying the word Bosh lots in a pleasing and often varied way. He's a family man. He knows the meaning of hard work, and I think that's why all of this is so pleasing, surprising, fun to him. He seems to really be enjoying the ride right now, and that's why I wanted to chat to him. I think it's fascinating to become prominent, well-known in a really unique way as you get older, and that's the chat that I wanted to have. It's a chat that happened on John's suggestion at a fish and chip shop. Now, I've interviewed people in some weird and wonderful places, countryside mansions and manors and penthouses and a Masonic lodge. That one is coming up very soon. And now, Chariots Fish and Chip shop in Romford, Essex. They were fantastic. So there you go. There's another shout out. We mentioned them throughout. Great guys. Cheers, Big John, for making it a special one, a unique one, a different one, a fun one. All that remains to be said is, without further ado, I bring to you my conversation with Big John. Bosh. I think that's the main thing with you is, I know you just said about us chatting before getting started, but there's loads about you people don't know. I think you've kind of come to prominence in the last 2-3 years in a really weird, wonderful, beautiful way.
In a way that we weren't chasing or looking
That's
for.
the thing,
None of us were looking for anything, especially me. I've been working hard all my life.
Well, that's the thing. What did you do then? So
I've still got a cheese firm. We buy and sell cheese. We service the local, within the M25. We serve wholesalers. We've still got that going. Jazz Bailey. Jazz, listen, it's been hard work. It's put a roof over our head. Yeah. It's put food on the table. But
just a lot of cheese.
Now you're out of it. And when you look back at it, you realise what a hard business it was.
Really?
A lot of turnover for little profit. Right. Bad debts. I've had so many I've had people knock me that have come to my wedding, and got millions of pounds in the bank, and they knock you're not been paid. There's a lot of dodgy people out there.
What got you into cheese?
My dad, my granddad, my uncle used to have a transport company. Right. They come from the docks around the East End. They went into transport, and then my dad, clever man, he's been gone 12 years now. He was delivering stuff for people, and he said, I'm delivering stuff for people, I might as well be selling my own. Yeah. So he went in, got a factory, started buying and selling cheese, got in with a man in Wales, and then I was doing my A-levels at school.
Around here?
Around here, Royal Liberty, yeah, and Royal Liberty was going through a little bit of a transition at the time. We didn't have any teachers, so I gave up my A-levels, went and worked up the city for a Japanese bank, but it wasn't for me. Yeah. Sitting on a train every day.
How'd you find that? Yeah, so you were in a suit.
Listen. My dad said to me, "Stay there, be a number, Get your sick pay, get your holiday pay, be looked after." Yeah. But it wasn't me. I couldn't stand it sitting on a train just being a number.
Right.
So
what were you doing at the bank then?
Just like the back office to trades and deals. Listen, if I'd have stayed there, I'd have probably been in a lot better place than working with cheese. But it weren't me.
Yeah.
And not being disrespectful or anything. I was on a table I was the only man around women, and I'm sort of a man's man. Right. I like talking to women, don't get me wrong, but I like to have a bit of a laugh. They was talking about things that weren't really interesting me, if you know what I mean. Nice people, no disrespect.
Just not for you.
But just wasn't for me. And I said to my dad, look, can I come and work for you? So I went and worked for my dad.
What did he want? Did he want you to work for him?
He wanted me to stay at the city. He wanted me to stay in the city because he knew the life he'd had. Getting up when you're ill, going to work when you have to go, people treat you like a bit of dirt. Yeah. But I went and worked for my dad, was there 20 odd years, and we made the business quite a success. Made a lot of good friends, a lot of good, business associates, and it's still going to this day. Yeah. And we nearly lost everything during lockdown. We nearly lost our whole business during lockdown. We didn't get any help because we was in that category. We weren't selling to the end user. Yeah. We was in that middle category. Yeah. I think I got one grant because we had a unit for 10,000. Right. And that was it. I've never worked so hard in all my life
What were you doing then? How were you?
Well, we lost our business overnight, and we all come together. Johnny was coming back off a plane from Las Vegas with Joe Joyce, where the Joyce Dubois fight was cancelled, and that was the day when they shut everything down. And we sat round our table at home, We said, look, we've got no money coming in. We had 99% of my business gone, like that. And Henry, who does my social media now, he said, look, why don't we start, we all come together, he said, why don't we start serving to the public? Cheese. We're just thinking of cheese at the minute. And I'm thinking, cheese is good, but not people don't eat that much cheese. Yeah. So we had a butcher that we used to serve, S.R. Cooper Meats, and he used to serve restaurants. And I spoke to him and he said, look, John, you've got your vans, you've got the manpower. Yeah. He said, why don't you buy meat off me and sell to people's houses?
Literally just delivering to people's houses?
And one week we've done about £100,000 worth of meat from nothing. We was working.
Were the margins better on that?
Margins were better, but you didn't really know what you're doing. Right. So you had a lot of wastage. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was hard work. You
don't know what to buy for what people are going to want.
Cut a long story short, right? Don't want to bore anyone. Cut a long story short, you used to have to get your orders in the night before. Then I used to order it about 3 o'clock in the morning. Right. Go and pick it up about 7. Get all my stuff ready. Then when I was ready to deliver, Johnny used to come and help me. And he used to come out delivering. It used to take ages. Because we used to go all around the houses, door after door after door. My wife took the orders. Me and Johnny got them ready and delivered them. William would come out. Henry would do the socials for it. Yeah. And we had no social media presence then. Yeah. None at all.
Were you even aware, really, of what social media could do at that point in time?
No, that was when I first started getting it, because we used to sit there. We only had a day off on a Sunday. Right. And whatever meat we didn't have from the Saturday, we used to cook on a barbecue. Listen, they was the worst times, but in a way the best times.
So with your family,
we came together as a family. We pulled together. And I can always remember them Sunday barbecues, baking hot weather. We had great times, you know. Yeah. But I wouldn't want to go through it again.
No.
And it was then, like, we'd be sitting there and I'd be placing, like, getting my orders in, looking at Instagram. That's when I knew how to start using Instagram. And, like, some famous people would start ordering. I go, oh, my God, look, they've got 50,000 followers. Yeah. Or they've got 100,000 followers, you know. And we're delivering their meat to them. And that was when I realised Instagram could be a bit of a tool, you know, a tool to definitely use for good. So cut long story short, we come out of COVID, got back into the cheese business, and that was struggling because during COVID everyone was all right, everyone was understanding, but as soon as COVID sort of finished, if you owed people money, where's our money? Yeah. Where's our money? Yeah. Where's our money? And one day, had a bit of bad news. We had an overdraft with a bank, and that was shut our accounts, just shut our accounts, because we used to pay cash in. I don't think they liked it, because all the meat was like, a lot of it was cash. And they shut our accounts down, been from 30 odd years, and they wanted their overdraft back. And that night we was invited to my good friends Steve Potts, played 500 games for West Ham. We was invited to his anniversary dinner. He said, John, come, we'll take you and the family up for anniversary dinner at Bordello's. Went to Bordello's, he paid for the meal, all our family, his family, come to a few quid. There's a pub next door called the Prospect of Whitby. My dad used to drink in there. And I said, look, while we're here, let's go in there, we'll have a pint, raise a glass for my dad. Drinks will be on me. We was in that pub 4 or 5 hours. The drinks came to more than the meal.
Like that,
right? I was totally drunk. Yeah. Totally drunk. I had the pressure of the money on me. Yeah. Now, money pressure's one thing. Yeah. Right? Money comes and goes. Yeah. So you get a bit depressed about it, but we're workers, we can get out of trouble. So I had a good drink, let myself go. Went home that night after having a big meal and ordered a load of Chinese. And I come in with a box and I just went, who wants an effing Chinese? And the video went like 20, 30 million worldwide.
That's madness.
And from that I started getting nightclub bookings. Yeah, we'd already had a little bit of a social presence then, that was when it was starting to grow. But that was the video. And as I said, it was out of the letter, the bad news coming from the bank. And you know, and then going in my dad's pub, where we used to go as a young man. Yeah. And then having that, just letting yourself go. Yeah. And being yourself. Yeah. And then from that, nightclub bookings. First one come in, Fred Goodall, good friend of ours now, real top bloke. I thought he was having a wind-up. I put the phone down on him. I said, leave off, mate, you're having a wind-up. And he kept texting me, like, I know this person. Up until that first day, Oxford Uni, I was staying in Oxford. He sent me the booking for the hotel. I said to my wife, well, at least I've got a night in hotel.
Yeah, 100%.
I was expecting someone to come out of the bush. I said, well, it'd be a good laugh. Yeah. But I did that one, Oxford, with fishes. And from there, bang. Just... Little bit.
I went back to your first ever post, and it was a post of your dog.
Boris in a West Ham shirt. Yeah, goalkeeper shirt. Yeah, my Labrador Boris, God rest his soul, died age 6 with cancer. I love that dog for bits. And could do anything to that dog. Put a West Ham shirt on, I think it had about 20 likes.
Yeah, right. Something like that. But that was 20, I looked, that was July 2018.
Yeah.
And you just... That for me feels like a flash, from 2018 to now, from COVID to now. Because I run a business, similar thing for me. I had that first week of COVID,
every day I was getting 2 or 3 calls from clients. So, Rich, you know that invoice? You know that contract? I was like, yeah. They're like, yeah, don't hold your breath. And it just
I honestly
fell
thought
away,
that,
mate.
you know, like you seeing it on the telly. Now, none of us knew what was coming. Now, you know, we probably lied to. And, you know, I was thinking, well, hold up a minute. Fit, healthy people, go out to work. If you're vulnerable, we'll look after them, stay at home.
100%.
That was what my mind was thinking. But you went with it because none of us knew what was coming. But how we didn't lose our house, how we didn't lose our business.
I think it's the same for a lot of people.
I pride myself. I'm 50 years of age now. I've never knocked anyone in my life.
Right.
And I pride myself on that.
Yeah.
And like,
it's massively important. Like,
we owed people a lot of money with the cheese. And like, you're thinking, well, hold up a minute, how are we going to pay them? And now, out on my heart, I've nearly paid everyone fully up. And that's the way I like to live my life. Because I've been knocked. It's terrible.
Mate, it's awful.
It's
terrible.
terrible.
I've got, I've had invoices that have gone back, a year, 2 years, and you just, they shutter, they stop the business, all those things.
Don't get me wrong, I had one company, Jazz Bailey, through COVID, supported me, backed me, and I owed them a lot of money. Right. I could have gone bankrupt, but I didn't. John Bailey, good man, deal up there, and they backed me.
Nice.
And now I virtually own nothing.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean? From a lot of money. So I'm really, really pleased with that.
I mean, that first, you coming in, Who Wants to F in Chinese, that was October 2021.
You know more than me.
So make sure I, always try and have a look.
Yeah.
So we're talking 2.5 years. In about 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Your life has completely changed.
Yeah.
So you were on the van, cheese, meat.
Working hard. When you see people working hard, 4 o'clock in the morning every day.
Yeah.
Not coming home until 5, 6 o'clock at night.
Knackered.
Knackered, and it's still doing stuff for your kids. Yeah. But it's what you do as a dad, as a father.
And you got 4 kids, right?
Yeah, 4 kids, and I've done everything with my kids.
How old are they now? John is 25.
John is 25.
Yeah.
Henry's 22.
Yeah.
William's 21 in a couple of months, and Hetty's just turned 16.
Nice.
So, it's all... Listen, to me, the most important thing is family.
Do you know, every time I've listened to you, speak to people, do a couple of things like this, that's what comes across massively. I think, you just seem like, and sorry to chuck a compliment at you, but you just seem like such a good dad. Do you know what I mean?
It's not that you're a good dad. You're a dad there. You feel my dad was a good dad.
Yeah.
But his dad, my granddad wasn't a good dad. So I think my dad was a good dad. Cheated on, like, he was an old professional boxer.
So it's in the family there.
Bit of a villain type, know.
Right. So
loved his son,
yeah,
but treated his wife with a bit of disdain and like the different era.
Yeah.
And my dad used to have to go out and get his own Christmas tree. Right. And put it up. No one would put it up for him, And my dad was the best dad you could ever have. We never went without. We was never rich, never poor, but we never went without. Yeah. And I've learnt a lot from my dad.
Really,
and
just work ethic.
Yeah, work ethic and just being there for your kids. Yeah. Not everyone's got material things they can give, but as long as you're a parent, as long as you're there for your kids when they need you, don't get me wrong, nothing's perfect. You have rows, you have times where you think, what the bloody hell am I doing here? Yeah. But as long as you're there for each other when needed, that to me is being a dad or a mum.
So it feels like you became. You just said you're 50, right? So I guess
turned 50,
late 40s when you start blowing up. I guess. How was that? Was that weird to then be all of a sudden you're walking down the street and people know who you are?
Very, very weird. When it first started happening, bring it along, Alice. Don't worry about it. Don't be shy.
Yeah.
When it first started happening, it was very weird.
Cheers, mate.
I've always been a people person. I've always been able to talk to people. Being in business, you've got to know how to talk to people. So I've always got on with people. But it was very weird when it first started happening. You could go anywhere, Greece, Spain. There's Big John. There's Big John.
Yeah.
America, like anywhere.
Have you always been Big John? Has that always been?
It's because I was Little John. My dad was Big John. Right. I was always Little John.
So you just passed that over.
And then when my dad passed, I become known as Big John because we had Johnny. And now Johnny's obviously bigger than me. Not fat wise, but
he's a big boy.
Bigger than me. So I was always Little John. Yeah. All my mates know me as Little John.
So your dad passed away 12 years ago, you said?
Yeah, 2012, London Olympics, yeah.
That's when you became Big John, 12 years ago.
Yeah, that's when then obviously my dad weren't about anymore.
Yeah.
And I think it sort of changed, and a couple of people I was walking out of here, funny enough, or Cafe Royale, and someone said, "Oh, Big John, can I have a photo?" And I thought, who the hell's Big John? I think someone just give me that name on social media, and it sort of stuck, because obviously I'm John, obviously I'm quite big.
Yeah, so, I mean, it does the job.
It works well, but I was always known, growing up, I was always known as Little John,
right?
Because my dad was John.
Yeah.
Even though I was when I was 15, I was 6'2", 17, 18 stone. I was always known as Little
Even
John.
that's right. Yeah.
I used to look like Johnny back in the day. So it's when life gets older and you start not exercising as much.
Were you quite sporty then?
Yeah, I used to box. Used to play for Leighton Orient football. Captained Essex County football. Captained Avon District football. Most successful team we've ever had.
No way. Where'd you play? What position?
Centre back.
Centre back.
But I was like old fashioned bang.
Right.
Ball winning centre back, and it would just start, But football, I loved it. I don't know. It's just like when it all started coming in, all the wanting to be digging you behind your back and all that. I'm an upfront sort of bloke. I can't put up. If you want to have a fight with me, we'll have a fight.
Yeah.
Don't make out you're doing it just because you're on a football pitch.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I've played rugby all my life.
Yeah, rugby. See, I never played rugby. I only played rugby at school, but rugby. That's
You're
why
a big fan now, right?
That's why I associate with rugby more because of the way it's played.
Right.
More honour, more gentlemanly. Look at the size of that fish. Look.
Cheers, mate. Look at this.
Look, I've gone for a chicken burger. Look, don't normally go for a chicken burger, but my daughter has a chicken burger, so I thought I'd try one. Now we're going to spill all stuff down this, you know that. He'll bring you chips out, don't worry.
Yeah, no worries.
Starting to panic, his chips ain't
I
coming.
did.
Look.
You saw it in my face.
Starting to panic, he's
I
got
was
no
like,
chips
you
out.
got chips coming? Cheers, man. Thank you so much.
I just want to say as well, big shout out to Chariots. They let us do
Absolutely.
anything like this in here. You get anything in here, fish and chips, chicken and chips, pies, but they do fresh fish, fresh noodles.
It looks great.
They do beef ribs, whatever you want to do. Massive compliments in here.
Thank you very much, buddy. Cheers.
Thank you very much, Anas.
Yeah.
Take a photo of this. Always take a photo of my food.
Yeah. Who does it go to?
I'll just send it. I'll put it on group chats to some in Chariots.
Nice one. Thank
But
you.
9 times out of 10, if I put a photo on somewhere online, then people will turn up.
Right.
So I'll keep it. I'll put that on later. Yeah. So no, all good. Yeah, just like call it a rise. I don't. Like I've been to places. People say, "Oh, you're a YouTuber, TikTok." I don't see myself like anything like that.
Because you don't call yourself an influencer, do you?
No.
You're not like that.
Who am I influencing? Nothing. Do you know what I mean? It's just people like you. They follow you. But
The funny thing is, you are though, because brands want to pay you. Brands,
brands want to pay, but I don't like that term. I don't like the term TikToker, YouTuber.
Yeah.
I don't know what you'd call me, but it's just a normal bloke who's got a bit of a following.
Yeah.
Who can resonate with people. People can see their lives in me.
I think that's it. You come across as just genuine, and I think it's
There's hundreds of thousands of me out there.
yeah.
That's what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so
I'm
they
a
see
normal-
themselves in you and
normal
just
family
normal
bloke.
family man.
Yeah, there's
That's it.
hundreds
Bit
of
like
thousands.
something
out
to
there.
eat.
Yeah.
I mean, you had, I think it was November 2021. You posted and said, "Jesus, I'm at 10,000 followers now." Now, I mean, that's 500,000 followers ago, right?
Yeah, it's just.
So, how did it feel when you think, right, I'm at 10,000 followers? That's crazy.
Again, like people might think, oh, you're telling lies. Whenever I hit milestones of followers, I just think it's crazy.
Yeah.
10,000, like I was saying, 10,000 people following me, especially because, as I say, I didn't know what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing on Instagram. Like I post stuff and my son goes, "What'd you post that for?"
Really?
It's because it's me posting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I answer, it's me. No one does my social.
It's always you.
all me.
Yeah.
And like
I think that's the best way to do it. Just make it up as you go along. You don't want to be too flash about it. Don't
I
want
had
to
a
be too
cameo
polished.
today, and it was a woman, like a lady for her boyfriend or her husband, and she said he messaged you on Instagram, but you didn't reply about Bosh power tools. And I said, look, apologies, but I get like 1,000 messages every day. I'll try and answer.
Is it 1,000 messages a day?
It must be.
Mate.
I say I try and answer as many as I can. Like when I'm laying in bed, my wife goes, "Why are you not going to sleep?" I just try and. And now with the tickets for Johnny's fight,
Yeah.
it's like a double whammy. You haven't got any time.
You're just on your phone constantly.
Yeah, that's what people say. Oh, you're always on your phone, but I am literally working.
That's an interesting thing, actually. Has it changed your relationship with your wife at all? So, wife Charlotte,
Yeah.
you've been together a long time.
Yeah, listen, I'll be honest. Like I'm away. I was never away. When I was working, I said you could set my clock by where I'd be when I'd be doing it. So I'm grateful that I've spent all my time at home with my kids when they're young. I wouldn't want to miss any time. But I also appreciate now, with me having to work away, that some people have to work away to provide for their family. You know, not everything's perfect. You're not always going to be at home. So whether it be a woman or a man and have to go out and work and have to go abroad and do it, you have to do it. But I'm just fortunate that my kids have grown up now. And like it's difficult at the minute. It's difficult at the minute because my daughter Hetty's doing her GCSEs.
Yeah.
So like I'm going to Magaluf on Saturday for an appearance. Normally my wife could come with me,
Right.
but she can't. When we went to Ireland, she couldn't because Hetty's doing her exams. There's other things I've been going. She can't come because she can't leave Hetty on her own, you know. But my relationship with my wife's still the same. She'd have a moan.
Does she think it's funny? What does she think about all this?
She thinks it's funny. She gets a little bit, oh, you're going away, I'm not. But we go away. We go away a lot. And whenever she can, she comes with me.
Yeah. I mean, it's a unique position to be in.
She knows what we went through in COVID. Yeah. So I'm earning a living.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's how you see this. You see this, you're earning a living.
I'm earning a living, you know, and I'm enjoying doing it as well.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, just because you enjoy it doesn't mean you can't, you know, you're not grafting.
I've worked hard all my life. Yeah. And I've enjoyed my work, but not really, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You just do it as a means.
You got it, yeah.
Now, I'm going to Magaluf. You enjoying it, you know? Don't get me wrong, I don't get up to nothing. I stay in the hotel, go and do what I've got to do, go back. It's nice to chill
I heard
out.
you talking about photos, how you always make sure that your hands are up like this.
I'll tell you a little story. I always do photos like, because a lot of young ladies want photos.
Yeah.
So I do that, then no one can accuse you of touching anyone or doing anything. So I'm conscious of that, because, you know, I'm an old man. I don't want to be looking like
an old man, you're 50,
you know.
mate.
Well, I don't want to be looking like you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And I do that as well, so my wife knows that my arms are up. And one time, she messaged me early in the morning, I can't believe you. I said, what, my arms are up? She went, your eyes are enjoying it too much. So now I've got to do it like that.
Yeah, you close your eyes, wear sunglasses.
My eyes are enjoying it too much.
That's a brilliant thing to say.
I said, for God's sake, how can my eyes be enjoying it too much? That's just a little bit of your wife keeping you on your toes.
Of course it is. Yeah. As she should.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know I'd be like if it was the other way around.
Oh, mate, wouldn't you? You know.
Oh, yeah, I would be.
What a weird turn of events to go from all that stress with COVID to then getting paid to go to Magaluf, Ibiza, Melbourne, you know, going over to Australia, Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I say that to people. I get a lot of messages from people who are struggling, and I say, look, I've been there, I've been struggling, and I say, when you're struggling financially, it's not the same as struggling health-wise, because people are on death's door, people are in hospital, they're never coming out.
Yeah.
So if you've got money worries, yeah, you got worries, but you ain't got worries.
Yeah.
You know, because you can earn money, you can always work. And if you owe people money, you can talk to people and sort things out. You know, so if you've got your health, you've got your wealth. You know, and I say to these people, look, a few years ago, I used to say, what the hell am I going to do? You know, and then things change. There's always, if you've got the right attitude, the right outlook, things can change.
You've talked a few times about mental health, and you know, as a man talking about kind of, you know, mental health and, you know, the importance of talking about it and those things. Did you get particularly low during that time?
Mental health is a real thing for men, but I'm sort of old school feeling, get on with it. But not everyone can get on with it. But yeah, I got low. You get sort of semi-depressed, but you pull yourself out of it because you've got children, you've got a wife, you know. And then what always made me happy always is your dogs. Yeah. I love my dogs, and no matter what mood you're in, your dog will always want to be with you. You know, so yeah, you might get down, but don't get down for very long.
Have you watched Afterlife? Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing that saves him, isn't it? In the beginning,
it's brilliant. You know what a genius he is, Ricky Gervais.
Mate. Yeah.
But yeah, and listen, as I said before, I say to my own sons, money comes and goes, and I might have had a bad week at work, but I get home on a Friday night, my kids are there. Got football on Saturday, boxing on Saturday, football on Sunday. Yeah. That was my release. You know, you got to keep yourself busy and
they all live at home still.
Johnny's got his own house now.
Yeah.
But the others live at home, pay no bloody rent.
Is that going to change or?
That'll never change.
No.
But listen, it's hard enough for the youngsters now.
Mate, it really is.
No.
It's not like people talk about, you know, how, you know, lack of resilience and things like that in the younger generation. But then you look at the housing market, you look at, you know, the way things are right now.
When I was in Australia, and it pains me to say this, right, I met a lot of Irish, Scottish, Welsh, English people out there, young people, young men, young women, in their like young 20s, mid-20s. And they've all gone out there to work. And I said, oh yeah, it's good, you get an experience. I said, you coming home? All of them, no, we're not going home.
No way.
We earn more money out here, we looked after better, the weather's better. And it pains me because I'm proud of my country. Yeah. But when you're out there, you think, you can't really blame them. You know, but you talk to the Aussies, the young Aussies, and they can't wait to leave. They can't wait to come over here.
How fun is that?
So it's just, you know, I think it's just, you just want something different. But I did see it when I was out there. We are having a big drain. A lot of youngsters leaving that are working age. Yeah. And we're not replacing them. So that's you know, that's a problem. It does upset me as well because, you know, you're proud to be English, British, but there's so many moving out now, you know. But they don't get a lot of help over here, you know. There's not you're not getting political, but none of them, Conservatives, Labour, they're all the same to me. Just got different coloured jackets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's not one of them that's going to help the youngsters here get on the housing.
Mate, it's absolutely mental. The prices now, the the interest rates, all that stuff. You know, you just hear people they're just going to have to rent forever. You know, when did you buy your house?
1996.
Yeah.
My first house, sold that. I've only ever had 2 houses.
It does come down to timing, doesn't it? I think for a lot of people.
Listen,
And there's people my age and younger that are just never going to own a house.
no, I know.
You know, and that was the aspiration. That was what you wanted to do.
That's the
provide a
aspiration,
solid-
but if you go to Germany, not many people own houses
That's true.
in Germany.
Yeah.
So, you know,
It's weird what you're brought up with.
Ah.
So I guess that's going to become the new norm.
but it's just a disparity in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Youngsters that are both working, you might have a young couple, both working, they can't afford an house. But one person's got 30 houses that he's letting out. And,
Yeah.
you know, and
I
you've
think
got
that's
a lot of
probably
people
that's where
like
it
that.
starts.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's always a rent increase. There's always something else to pay for.
It's just a tough life at the minute.
Yeah. But you're enjoying it. You're enjoying.
I'm enjoying life at the minute.
Enjoy-
Listen, I'm 50. You don't know how long you got on this earth. You, when I turn 50, you realise you're closer to the coffin. You really do. Now I know people live to like 70, 80 and beyond.
Yeah.
But what have I got? If I'm lucky, a good 20 years left. Do you know what I mean? That's the way I see it. If I'm lucky.
Right.
So you've got to try and do what you can.
Because
while you're here.
your dad was fairly young, was in his 60s, wasn't he? When he passed
67,
away?
just retired. 1 year after retiring.
Really. But what would he think now, seeing you as you are,
He wouldn't-
half a
he
million
wouldn't believe
followers?
it.
No,
He wouldn't believe it, but he'd be the first one to be out in Magaluf with me.
he would.
Yeah, he was a bit of a prude, my dad. Didn't like talking rude in front of children
Right.
or swearing in front of children. But he was a proper man's man. You'd have a joke with him.
Yeah.
And if he went to the pub, he'd buy everyone a drink. You never had to put your hand in your pocket when he was about. Old school East Ender.
And that's what
know?
you try and do as well.
It's not like I try and emulate it. I think it's just ingrained. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
you see your dad and
And you try,
it's
and,
just-
that's what I mean. Is like you make sure that other people feel the way that maybe he made.
Yeah, listen, he was a fair man. He'd always be fair, and he'd take them far too soon. He loved his grandkids,
Yeah.
like with a passion. You know, he used to take Johnny boxing all the time because we used to be with Henry at football, so he'd take Johnny boxing, and nothing was ever a problem for him. You know, and he'd run his life around what the kids were doing.
Right.
You know, we can't go on holiday then because Johnny's got that, or Henry's got that, or William's got that.
What about your mum? She.
Yeah, she's still about.
She's still
We
about.
see my mum quite a lot. She lives local. She's like, I've got 3 sisters. We all look after her.
Yeah.
But she's quite an independent woman. You know,
Right.
she's strong-minded. She's got all the faculties about her. She's like late 70s now.
Right.
So she's in a good place.
And you're all so you're all quite close then. I mean, that's what I'm getting is a really tight knit family
Yeah.
that comes
We're
through
all-
things together.
We're all close. We all live within 2 mile and a half of each other.
Do you really?
Yeah. So it's a good thing. Sometimes a bad thing. But,
Yeah. Well, you can get under each other's feet, can't
Yeah, you can.
But-
But sometimes it's good. It's got its pros. It's got its cons. I'm trying to eat this without spinning it down.
No,
me, look,
I've
trying
stuck
to.
me.
So I know there's a camera on me. Look.
you? No, it's all good. Rugby wise, you talked quite a lot about rugby. Would you have liked to have played when you were a kid? Or not played a bit more? Or...
I think it would have been a sport for me. But I was so into my football.
Because you would
And
have
my
been you were a
boxing.
big football player then.
Yeah. Well, listen. When I was quite thin,
Right.
but muscular,
Yeah.
but weighed a lot. If that makes sense. But as I got older, like 15, then I was like 17 stone of muscle.
Yeah.
But you're too big to be a footballer.
Yeah.
Biggest footballers, what, like 13 stone?
Yeah, mate.
You
That
know.
was me when I was like 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're big, you know. But in our area around here, although you've got a lot of good like local rugby clubs, football was the thing.
That's just mate. Because I'm from Gloucester. Now I don't know if you.
I've been to Gloucester
You've
2
been,
times.
yeah. Didn't
No,
you
nightclub there,
You did a
Attic.
nightclub Attic. Yeah,
I've been there a couple of
You
times.
did a night in Attic, didn't you? I mean, I should say that's how we kind of. I know we don't know each other very well, but that's how we first met was through Forged. We were doing work for Forged for Conor McGregor's brand. And the funny thing is, and I don't know if you know this, you were specifically requested. So we were doing a big launch event that you and was it Henry and Johnny came? Did William
Yeah.
come as well?
I think I can't remember if William come, but
I know
a couple of them come.
I know. You came on down. You were a request from Conor.
Well, I.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
bloody
said
hell.
basically as we're putting it together and thinking about.
Oh, was that the
people to
Forged
invite-
event you talked about in
The
London?
Forged event in London. That we, yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about Gloucester. I'm thinking.
No. But I'll get to
No,
that in a
Forged
sec.
was me, Johnny, and William.
Yeah.
And bloody hell, I had to take William home that night.
Right, was he?
And he was with Stuart Kinney, who works with Forged.
Yeah.
They was drinking the proper 12 in it, the
Yeah,
whiskey.
yeah.
the Forged Irish Stout, mixing it, and he come out, William. I said, "Come on, William, we'll get home." And the big balloon arch must have been about £1,000 of balloon.
Yeah, it was.
Straight in it, all over.
Really?
And I took him home on the train, and he was talking to people on the train all nicely. Then all of a sudden, William's sick all over everywhere.
Mate, one of those nights.
And I'm like, William, come on. You know, like, it's your son.
Yeah.
And then he's blaming me for putting him on the train. That's why he was sick.
Of course.
So,
it's always your fault. It's always Dad's fault.
It was a great night, though.
It was a good night, yeah.
That night. It's when he come up to me.
That was the funniest bit. Is,
Yeah. And he blanked Johnny.
Completely blanked
Yeah.
everybody, mate. It was the happiest
come
he
right
looked.
up.
The happiest he looked all night was when he saw you.
Unbelievable.
Because you got the video, haven't you? You got the video.
I've got that. I'll cherish that. And I'll speak to Conor every now and again on socials.
Yeah.
Like, we'll talk about Chinese, or when he's ordering
Yeah.
Chinese and that. Like, not a lot, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
every now and again.
Yeah.
So, you know, fair play to what he's done.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm looking forward to his
Unbelievable.
fight, mate. Are you a big UFC fan?
I'm not going to lie. I'm
No?
not a big UFC fan.
So-
But obviously I'll watch it now.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
Yeah.
because I've been more into the boxing. I've always been the boxing fan, you know.
Yeah.
But I thought it was brilliant in Roadhouse, the remake, because the
You've seen
original
it, yeah.
film Roadhouse was one of my favourite films when you're growing up. You know,
yeah.
it's like, and don't get me wrong, it's not. I don't think it's as good as the original, but it's a bit more slapstick.
It's so silly, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I
a
think
bit
it's
slapstick.
entertaining.
Entertaining. If you
know.
want to release yourself for a couple of hours,
Yeah.
just watch that.
I think,
you know, brilliant.
I mean, he was born to play that character.
And
Just
it's
a
the highest
silly...
grossing film on Netflix, isn't it?
Is that right?
Ever.
Yeah. In terms of, like, if the streams were,
Yeah.
cinema tickets sold, yeah.
Unbelievable. But I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to watch it again, because I think it's one of them films just to.
Jake Gyllenhaal was brilliant.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good. They're probably make number 2, wouldn't they? I think.
Do you reckon more than like? I mean, can they tell that story again?
Conor won't be in it because he dies in it, I think.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, no, he does.
Well, where it done so well, they're going to make it again.
Oh,
aren't
you
they?
think so?
Do you know what I mean? He'll
Yeah.
move to a different place, different villain.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be able to get a part in that. Villain in Roadhouse 2.
There you go. Heard it here first.
We did a bit of filming here on yesterday or day before. Can't say too much, but
What sort of, like, are you acting?
yeah, it's supposed to be. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
How did that feel?
Good. Again, not expecting anything to come of it, but had like my son's with me, my mates with me, all in it as extras. And what an experience, you know, to look back on and say, look, we've done this. Can't say a lot about it. Because,
Is it a speaking part though?
Yeah.
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 You in it much?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Okay.
So it's good. All will be revealed soon.
Yeah.
But it's just another experience.
Another weird thing that's happened.
Exactly.
Again,
And I
just-
don't expect anything to come of it. But
If it
I can
does.
say I've done it when I'm 80. If
Yeah.
I make to 80,
Yeah.
I've done that. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
crazy.
Again, you not wanting to call yourself an influencer, you not going down that road. I think there's something really appealing about that, because in a world where social media fakery and people making it their life's mission to
I've
become
been-
famous,
I've
it's
been-
really lovely to hear.
I've been lucky and fortunate enough to be involved in quite a lot of charity football matches. Not playing, like managing or just being there. And you see people, and they're really friendly to you. You see them 3 months down the line, and because they've got a bit bigger, they don't want to talk to you. You know, or they're like, I'm not into any of that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? People are people at the end of the day, and you can only judge someone by how they treat you. No matter if they've got 1 follower or 100 million followers, don't matter.
Yeah.
It's how you treat someone.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, listen, all I'm saying, I'm not going to lie, I'm enjoying earning the living I'm earning now. But that's all I see it as. I'm earning a living.
Would
in a
that be
different
too
way.
crass? Are you earning more now than you were when the business was going well?
Yeah, I probably am, because the business never really earned. Cheese was hard, you know. So you probably are earning more now, but your money was more settled then.
You know what's
You knew
happening.
what was coming in.
And also,
Now
you
you
know
don't.
when it's going to come in as well.
Now you don't. You know, you might look at your diary, you're like, in 2 months' time, there's nothing in it, and you think nothing might not come in.
Yeah.
And when I do a nightclub event, I've got one tomorrow, funny enough, in Newbury, and obviously one in Magaluf on Saturday.
Yeah.
But you never know when that's going to be your last one, because you're not going to do nightclub events forever. And I've cut them down a bit because they're not as easy as they look. 2 o'clock
Talk
in the
me through
morning.
them. So what are you doing?
You go to the club 2 o'clock in the morning, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. You get up on stage, say your boss, you say everyone is. Might throw some chicken balls out, some burgers out, prawn crackers, and then you do a meet and greet. And when you're there, it's great, because I like engaging with people, and everyone's good. And they're mainly like university student crowds, and I really get on with the university students. But you do get some where you go and you get a few pests and you get people. I had one. I think where was we? It was in the West Country somewhere.
Not
And
Gloucester, was it?
No, Bristol. I love Bristol.
Yeah.
I had two big men, right? One this side, one that side. One put his arm around my top, and one put his arm around my waist. Can we have a photo? Yeah, of course. That's what people do. And then he started to pull me as hard as he could that way, and he started to pull me as hard as he could that way.
All right.
Nah, I'm old school, so
Yeah,
I had my hands around their neck. I just grab their necks,
Yeah.
squeeze as hard as I can. I might not be able to stand and fight for long, but I can, you
Yeah.
know. And then it was just, you get idiots like that every now and again, but they're few and far between.
That time, that half 1-2, we're talking people are tanked up by that point.
Yeah, they're all drunk.
Yeah.
That's why I can only go on stage, because people probably won't see me when I'm not on the madness was Australia. Like doing race courses, I was doing like a DJ set.
Yeah.
When I say DJ set, I press a button, get everyone going for half hour.
What sort of music are we talking?
It's just like club music, and
Right.
like
You
just,
into it?
Just bangers.
Your
Yeah,
sort of
like
thing?
the music that they was playing, like which I set is all 90% of it I really enjoy. But you're just getting people going. You're on the mic,
Yeah.
like where you are. Let's have it. Let's do that. And they're all. Australia was absolutely crazy for that.
Yeah.
Like it was in Newcastle, 3,000 people at a racecourse event, and they all turn up for my DJ set.
That's madness, mate.
It's just nuts.
3,000 people.
3,000 people.
Again, I need to come back to 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Your
And
life was
Sydney,
very
right?
different, mate.
Sydney, unbelievable. Love Sydney. When I'm doing a DJ set there, as I say, DJ set in the loosest of terms, it's just a bit of fun.
Yeah.
They had a Red Bull car, and they wanted me to get in, and the decks were at the top, and I couldn't fit in. So small, I couldn't fit in. So I had to do it in front of the car, but then there's no barriers. I was just literally squashed for the whole half hour doing that. We got it all on videos. And
Yeah. Because Johnny was over there with you as well.
Johnny was there, Henry was there
Henry
filming.
was there, yeah.
It was brilliant. And we're going back August and September. We was on national telly when we was out there.
Oh, yeah.
On the Today Show, which is like their Good Morning Britain.
Yeah.
On about 3 radio stations. It's crazy.
Isn't it funny that people in Australia, 3,000 of them will come to something that you're doing?
Very crazy.
That's amazing.
And like, wherever you go in Australia, it's worse than here. People asking for photos.
Really?
Yeah. It's just, I love
Wonder,
it.
do you tap into something like Australian, like they like a drink as well?
What it is, the Australians, a normal Aussie's probably got the same values as me. But you ain't only got your Aussies, you've got your Irish, you've got your Welsh, you've got your Scottish, you've got your English,
Yeah.
all your expats out there.
Yeah.
So it's a big mix. New Zealand as well, we're going to New Zealand in September.
Yeah.
Get a lot of followers from New Zealand. So Ireland as well, Ireland's brilliant when you ever go to Ireland.
Outside of the UK, where's the biggest kind of following for you?
Outside
you
of
think?
UK is Australia.
Yeah.
Then it's USA and Ireland
Yeah.
sort of together, and then it'll be New Zealand.
Because it's like quite uniquely British, the Chinese, Bosh, all of those things. But it translates really well. Like
I
people,
said this to someone the other day, and what it is, how we like, people started seeing us first of all was Chinese on a Friday or Saturday night.
Yeah.
A lot of people can resonate with that.
Yeah.
No matter what your week's been like, no matter what everyone's been through, family time on a Friday night or Saturday night. We'll take
Friday
one.
night dinner, the programme.
Oh, I love it.
You
Yeah,
love it, right?
brilliant,
Absolutely brilliant. So it's that thing of, it feels like a constant. It feels like we all get it.
And no matter what's happened,
Yeah.
we've got that meal all together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And a nice meal, something you've got to enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think everyone can relate to that, and we still do it now. I still get excited when the Chinese are at the door. No, I'm probably eating Chinese far too much because a lot of videos I'm asked to do is with a plate of Chinese. And
Right.
we've got a Big John Chinese sit down. So one time we filmed like 5 in a row, and by the 5th night you're checking into your Chinese. But when it's put in front of you, you still eat
happy.
it. Yeah,
Mate,
you still eat
I will
it.
never turn down a chicken ball.
Oh, no, you can't. It's sacrilege. The minute I
Yeah.
turn down the chicken ball, bury me.
Yeah.
And,
My favourite thing as well is the next morning, if you've got 1 or 2 left, cold chicken balls.
Cold
When it's
on
cold.
the side. When you put it away, cold on the side. You come down cheekily, like start
Yeah,
eating
yeah,
it
yeah.
before anyone comes down.
Absolutely.
No, it's all good. It's all good fun. And
Yeah.
I think we bring a bit of like, not just me, like Johnny,
Well, it's all of you, mate. Yeah.
Henry, William, Charlotte, Hetty. It's just a bit of light-heartedness.
Yeah.
You know?
In a serious world.
It's
You
too
know what I mean?
serious,
Like,
when you see what's going on in the world on a daily basis.
yeah.
If you watch the news, you just think, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And it's the people above us in all the countries don't give a toss about people like us.
Oh, we got zero control. I think
No,
that's the
we've
thing
got
is
no control.
we feel. I think general populace would agree. You just feel like you can have no effect on it. So my thing is, I work in and around the media, so of course I'm watching news all the time, I'm reading news all the time. But sometimes you realise what it does to you because you've got all of that going on in your head and you can't do a damn thing about it.
I just think the ruling elite are just so far detached from us. There's not one politician that says what I want to hear.
If Rishi Sunak said, "Come, let's sit down for a Chinese," would you?
I know the hardest geezer.
Yeah, of course. He went
got
there,
a lot.
didn't he?
He got a lot of trouble with that. But yeah, I probably would, because even though I don't agree with a lot of what he does, you respect him for what he does. You've got to respect the office he holds, and I like to talk to him and say a few own truths.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you say?
I just say more help for the youngsters. You know what I mean? More help for the people that serve in the armed forces. More prices should be coming down. You know, he's saying inflation's come down. Prices ain't come down. Inflation might look like it's come down, but it ain't.
Yeah.
So stop tricking us. You know, at the end of the day, we can relate and we can enjoy ourselves with a little bit more money in the back of our pockets. Yeah. You know, but they're just so far cut off from us. Especially Sunak. You know, no disrespect to anyone that's got money, but what the hell's he working for? You know, his wife's richer than the Queen.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not having a go at him because he has got money.
Yeah.
Because he might be a good man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think there's no political party out there for me.
There's not?
In this country, no.
Where do you reckon it goes? Do you reckon it goes Labour win?
It's looking like a Labour win, but
it feels like it, don't it?
But the Conservatives have got a lot of voters that only come out when it matters. Do you know what I mean? And I'm being truthful. Conservatives ain't been conservatives the last 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, people have been suffering more and not had as much money in their pockets. And Labour, they talk a good game, but when they get in the power, they don't actually do anything. They're pretty much the same. I've said this before.
As you said,
they're pretty much the same.
Same, just different jackets.
Yeah, same, different jackets. They're all in a club. We was in Primrose Hill once. We dropped Johnny off when he was at university at Paddingham. And there's a lovely restaurant called Lamonia, a Greek restaurant. So I said to my wife, I said, come, before we go home, we'll go in there. They did chicken and chips. This is a true story. Go up to the door, closed, private function. Right. All the Labour MPs were in there, like the London ones, all the Conservative in there. They're all mates. Oh, yeah. They're all having jolly ups. Yeah. Amanda Patel from the Daily Mail came out. She was in there as well. Right. Millie Bands were in there. They're all on one big jolly up. They don't care about us. And I think the quicker you realise that. Yeah. But the only problem is there isn't anyone coming forward that is there for. I think if a party came forward for the normal working person, they'd mop up. You know,
should be Labour, right?
But it's not, is it? We know it's not.
Yeah.
You know, we know it's not. But
talking about big parties of people, then I never ask this question because it's such a basic interview question. But given we're here, sat eating, the dinner party question: if you could have anybody sat around the table with you, eating a Chinese, who are we talking about?
What, alive or dead?
Alive or dead, either.
Right. This might go past someone's head, but Alfred the Great was the first. He introduced schools, the Navy. So I'd like to talk to him because I think he was one that was above his time.
I mean, that is left field. I did not expect that.
Yeah, no, Alfred the Great.
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth I defeated the Spanish Armada. You know, never got married. Devoted her life to her country. Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
I'd always have hopefully we'll have a Chinese with him one day.
Yeah.
But I'd like to sit with him.
Well, you chatted to because Johnny sparred with him, didn't he?
Johnny sparred with him. Johnny knows him. You know, he's a good bloke. So that makes it up. Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
A little bit of comedy in there, and he's got a little bit of different views, and you know. And who else? Let's go for. Have to throw in someone like Martin Luther King or a Malcolm X in there as well.
Yeah. Both very different.
Balance it all up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and great men from history,
they're
obviously portrayed differently because they don't fit the narrative of what people want to hear, but doing things for the goodness of people. Yeah. You know? So I think that'd be a good mix.
I mean, that's a great mix. Do you reckon they'd all get on?
Probably not. I think they probably would because Chinese unites people.
That's the thing.
Yeah. You know, it's a bit of a weird mix, but I love history. Johnny's got his history degree. Alfred the Great's always fascinated me.
Yep.
Elizabeth I for what she did for England, defeating the Armada, and she was like started putting the power into the English, you know, throne. As you say, Martin Luther King, Tyson Fury, and Ricky Gervais. I think
that's a hell of a group of people.
I think that's a good mix.
I wonder if anybody's even getting a word in because you got Tyson likes to chat.
As long as I get my chicken balls in.
As long as you're eating the chicken.
But I've got to say, realistically, I would love to meet Ricky Gervais because I think he's a comedy genius.
Yeah.
And Tyson Fury, I've met a few times, but I would love to sit down.
Actually get to know him better.
Yeah, when he's like relaxed.
Yeah.
You know, because I think he's been through a lot of troubles and stipulations, tribulations. Gets a lot of bad press, gets a lot of good press. It'd be good to sit down. You know.
Yeah, I think he knows how to sell a fight. That's what that man does. He sells a fight
dad
brilliantly.
does.
When he's not headbutting people.
Met John a few times as well.
Yeah. Good guy.
Really good man. Always been good to Johnny.
Yeah.
I think when he gets in that environment,
Yeah.
it just goes a little bit, you know.
Yeah. I guess you as a dad of a professional boxer, how do you feel about Johnny fighting? Like,
Yeah,
have you always been really supportive of it? Is it something you were quite happy for him to get into?
Always been supportive of it because I've been around boxing clubs my whole life.
Yeah.
And I know without them boxing clubs, all them kids would be on the street.
Yeah.
Not saying Johnny would, but there's trouble around here. You know, you've got decent areas, there's trouble everywhere with knives and I just think them boxing clubs, for me as a dad, it's better to learn a discipline and have a fight one-on-one where you're in a controlled environment than putting all your energies onto the street and in with gang members. And people don't realise the importance of boxing clubs, youth clubs, karate clubs, UFC gyms, football clubs.
For me, it was, I've talked about it a few times, it was gyms and rugby clubs. It's the thing
Rugby.
It's the thing that gave me some direction when, I didn't really have, the best start, I guess. So for me, it was, I'm actually quite good at something. Camaraderie, teamwork, it teaches you how to win, teaches you how to lose.
That's why Johnny liked rugby, played rugby.
Yeah.
And he liked the teamwork with that. Yeah. Obviously, boxing, you're individual. You've got your team around you, but you're still you.
Yeah, it's
he
you
loved,
in that
he
way.
loved the teamwork. Like after you won, you win together, you lose together.
That's the thing, man.
And we can't underestimate the value of all the volunteers out there that give up their time day in, day out for no financial gain, just to help a football team, a rugby team, an athletics club, gymnastics club, a tennis club, whatever it is. Yeah. Just help them youngsters get through them hard years.
Yeah.
That's one thing I would say to Rishi Sunak. We need more help for grassroots, community, not only sport, theatre, acting, singing.
It's the thing that the money gets pulled out of quickest. Like I spoke to the actor Brian Cox.
It's crazy.
And he was saying people like me wouldn't be in this industry now, coming up because they used to be support for kind of working class and poorer people to come into the arts, but it's not
being political.
Not
being political. Because as I say, I don't hold a grudge against anyone if they're rich, poor. Yeah. But all the actors now, all like private educated. Yeah. Not all of them, but a good percentage. They've all been privately educated.
I saw a website spun up the other day, and it was people in entertainment, kind of around politics, entertainment, all those things, and it's a list of all the people in the private schools that they went to. No. And again, not to knock them, because the big thing with this podcast is we all start somewhere, and we didn't do anything to deserve that start. Right? No. We all start somewhere. These, just because they're at a private school doesn't mean they don't deserve, good things.
Not
it's
saying
what they
that
do
at all,
with it.
because I know a lot of good people that went to private schools. But I'm just saying, you also need help if you're not in a private school.
Exactly that.
It's got to be spread out.
Yeah.
And that is one thing I would say to Sunak. Just the youth clubs. I just think that's been.
Have you noticed it kind of dwindling around here, or?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, even when we was at school, we used to have in the 6 weeks holiday something called play leadership. Go over your park, there was someone there, volunteers from like 9 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock, playing all games and sports. I know that's long gone, but there's nothing like that. Yeah. Sports around here are all right if you've got money to pay. Yeah. If you ain't got the money to pay, especially like things like tennis, if you can't afford the tennis lessons, you ain't getting anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I just spoke to F2 racing car driver, and do you know how much it costs to get? I didn't know this about motorsports in general, but he's looking like he just won at the weekend F2 in Monaco. I don't know if you're into motorsports at all. I didn't know loads about it.
I'm not.
So I was fascinated to learn. It costs around 10 million. 10 million, like, out of your own pocket to get to F1 before you start earning money, because you don't earn cash prizes or anything. 10 million. So all the people you see that are racing in F1,
No.
Mate, and it's an inaccessible sport, and that's not to say that it's not a good sport, or
but it's inaccessible.
It's really inaccessible.
It's like similar to tennis, similar to golf.
Yeah.
You're not going to get your kid off a council estate.
No.
Getting his golf clubs out.
Because that for me, sport was the thing. I was like, how do I get up and out? How do I get, from where we were to somewhere? And rugby was that. I was like, I might be able to make. And now, that wasn't the thing that eventually I think helped me break a cycle. But what it did is it gave me the drive and the determination, and all of those things to think, oh, I could, and then all the good things that it does then give you, then you take into the rest of your life. Like I run my business like a rugby team.
Yeah.
Like
you've learned a lot.
You learn a lot of lessons from sport.
Yeah.
So
you do. You learn how to win. You learn how to lose.
100%.
You know, you might be winning the whole game, 79 minutes in rugby, then you lose it in the last minute. It's life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Going to get a deal. Oh yeah, I'm getting this. Then you don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just sport echoes life so well.
Yeah.
And that's why it's held with such high esteem.
So when do you reckon? So Johnny now he's got a fight on the 6th of July.
Yeah.
So what is he ranked 11th in Britain?
I think he was about 10th now. I think in Britain, but they fluctuate.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't pay too much attention to the rankings.
And he's only 25. He had a very limited amateur experience. He had 10 fights.
Wow. Okay, so he turned pro quite quick.
It's not that he turned pro quick. He turned pro without a lot of experience. Normally you don't. Some people are doing that now. Like Fabio Waldy didn't have any amateur fights.
Yeah, of course.
Just a few white collars. But it means that you haven't got that grounding behind you. Don't mean you're any better if you've done well in amateurs. Just means you've got that grounding and that experience. So Johnny's been going around as many gyms as he can, sparring as many good people as he can. He was in Texas a couple of weeks ago sparring Filip Ergovic.
Right, wow.
Ergovic is fighting Dubois on the 5v5.
Yeah,
and Ergovic was literally going for him.
Right.
He was the only sparring partner. So Johnny had to sink or swim out your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, Ergovic, what a lovely guy. They've got a lot of respect.
I don't know a lot about him.
Yeah, I never did before, but he's in a good place. He's looking very good at the minute. But Johnny, like, withstood what he was throwing at him. So that's and coming back with some at the end. So you have to learn. A lot of people have done the first lot of sparring and gone, sod that, I'm going home.
Yeah.
Because Ergovic wasn't holding back.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? He was the only sparring partner that was doing 4 rounds at a time, so it was intense, hard 4 rounds. And I was there, and like, that's the hardest thing I've ever seen Johnny have to do. He sparred everyone before. This was more than a spar.
Yeah.
And he come through it. So, and then he went back, and he's gone back, and he's gone back, and he's left Texas with, like, learning
all that experience,
learning a hell of a lot.
Where do you reckon he goes?
With Johnny,
yeah.
Listen, again, you don't want to say, oh, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. He's Southern Area champion.
Yep.
Hopefully can win an English title.
Yeah.
And hopefully the dream would be to win a British title. And then when you go from there, anyone can say. But we know the levels in boxing.
Yeah.
When you talk about Usyk, Fury, Joshua.
I mean, that
Ergovic,
fight was ridiculous. Like, Usyk looked phenomenal, didn't he?
They're unbelievable athletes. They're unbelievable men.
Yeah.
And you're not going to say, oh, yeah, I can beat them, I can do it. You're not going to say that. But if Johnny can get to sort of British level, which he's not far off, he spars Fabio, he spars Fraser.
Again, 25 years, he's young.
They're good friends of his, so another year or two, keep learning, keep working, keep winning.
Because what is he, 11 and 0?
11
with 10 knockouts.
10 knockouts, but he lives the right life, Johnny.
Yeah.
Even after a fight, he won't touch beer, won't touch alcohol. Wow. He'll have a chicken burger or something, a little bit of vice like that. But he lives the life, he's dedicated his life. But we know how hard boxing is.
Yeah.
Especially in heavyweights, one punch, bang.
Oh, mate. That's what makes it exciting. That's why we watch it.
It is. And the thing is, as I said to you before, cameras rolling, as a dad, titles and this are great, but as a dad, earn as much money as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Get in, get out with all your faculties about you.
Yeah.
That's my advice to him. Because, don't get me wrong, your promoters, your managers, your trainers, they're all right while you're winning. No one will give a toss when you lose. No one.
Yeah.
And I know that. It's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. So you've got to make yourself, and Johnny's doing the right thing. He's thankful he's got a good support. Yeah. So he's got his support base.
He sells tons of tickets. Does anybody sell more tickets than Johnny?
They're probably like at the very top.
He's up there.
But at his stage, no. I mean, we've done in 5 days. We've done like 1,800 tickets for his fight already.
Madness
against Babbage. Babbage would be a tough test. We like Alan. Johnny used to be under the same promotional banner. He's a good bloke. He'll come and want to win. It'll be a tough fight, but I can't see Johnny not winning.
Yeah.
So if Johnny prepares right, which he is, and he don't get engulfed in slugging, sticks to his boxing.
Yeah.
When he lands, I think that'll be it.
He moves well. He moves very, very well.
He does. Just got to keep his composure, land his shots. If he lands his shots, he should be all right.
Nice.
But you don't take anything ever for granted. Boxing.
Yeah.
You've got to be on top of your game all the time.
Again, as you said, one punch. That's all it takes. With your social media content, is any of it ever planned? Like, do you plan ahead? Is Henry there saying, "Hey, Dad, we need to do this"? William, you know, because I know it all started with William actually, didn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
William was Wilbertross. He was the original one. Yeah, made himself look a bloody plonker a few times.
But do they ever get in your ear and say, "Hey, Dad, this is"?
Sometimes Johnny comes up with some good ideas. Like the other day, we had loads of Chinese. And he said we've got to show the boot coming up with all the Chinese.
Yeah.
And Johnny has got a good brain for it. And it opened, and he went 5 bags of Chinese, and I went like chicken balls or something. Bosh.
Yeah.
On Instagram, 7 million views.
That's
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Just the boot opening with the Chinese there.
Brilliant.
And like Henry will video me when I'm ordering the Chinese. We did one 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago. Me ordering the Chinese, nothing else.
Just talking.
Over 5 million views on Instagram.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
I think people just resonate with you, mate. I think
So I'll be doing something, and then we'll come out of his phone. He
Yeah,
knows to
right,
get
right,
moments. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But a lot of that stuff is just natural.
Yeah.
You know, just normal
Just having
stuff.
fun.
You might do the odd staged one where
Well, I
you
saw
having a
that
laugh.
posh one the other day.
Yeah, like
that made me
you
laugh.
know, obviously
That made me
that's
laugh,
yeah, that was off the cuff.
And then you're all of a sudden outside with your shirts off.
See, Henry thought of that in like 2 minutes.
Did he?
He said, right, let's do it. I'll come up with the word fisticuffs.
Yeah.
And then Johnny put my jacket on, you
Yeah.
know. So, yeah, you know, you have the odd, he's like, look, Jimmy Butler, man coming in here, used to buy cheese off me years and years ago. He lives down Johnny's Road. I don't think you can probably see him. Jimmy! How are you? You all right? We were talking about the cheese game, and I said, you used to buy cheese off me.
What did you used to buy?
He used to have a lot of good. He used to have a lot of good company. Jimmy Buckland, one of the original wholesalers in London and
no way.
Essex. Yeah.
What sort of cheese are you buying? What are you getting?
He'll tell you.
Just block cheddar, wasn't it?
Block cheddar, was that it?
Mature cheddar. Yeah. But Jimmy used to sell gammons, bacon.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's earning the money. That's why he lives down a good road.
That's why you're doing well.
Yeah. See?
I've earned more money
No,
since I sold the
He's
business.
all right.
Have you?
He's all right. I'm all good. You? Yeah, all good. Thank you very much. You brought the rain with you.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Good to see you, Jim.
Nice to meet you.
All the best. Take care. Old school. Yeah. 80 years of age.
No, he is not.
Yeah,
Is he really?
Yeah, old school.
Yeah, looks great for that,
I remember when my dad was doing like the business. I used to go as a boy at all his units, and he lives down Johnny's Road. Like Johnny's bought a house down his road. He's lived there all his life. But good business plan.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he just said he reckons he's earned more money since selling the business.
He probably has. He got into property. He had a couple of warehouses.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like the warehouses he was working in, he bought.
Is that the sort of thing you want to do? Like, do you want to get into anything? Like what? Because I guess you said that this could be fleeting. You said that this might not last forever.
No.
So, like,
I didn't think it'd last this long, to be
Really?
honest. And he's still sort of going stronger than you've ever been. But you never know. You've got to have a plan
What
for
is your plan?
longevity.
What are you
I
thinking?
suppose for me, the idea would be your own restaurant
Yeah.
or own,
That's a good idea.
like, you know, because we use the Blue Orchid in Romford, the Chinese.
Yeah.
And like in here, Chariots, Blue Orchid, I don't get any monetary gain. Anything.
Yeah.
You know, they might look after you.
Yeah.
But I don't get paid. I just like to recommend good food when I come across it.
Yeah.
And the Blue Orchids takings have gone up 70-80% since we've been.
So
sort
you
of-
reckon Big John's? What would you say? Chinese?
people say Chinese, but I don't think would it work?
You don't know if you can do it justice.
Would it work? You know what I mean? I'm English, Chinese. Just a good calf, I think.
Good
would
calf?
be. Yeah, good
Yeah.
calf. Yeah. But you can only do that when you've got time to be there, because people who want to come.
I
and
guess
you
right
be
now
there.
you've got exactly that. They want to come and see you, don't they?
We've
I
had
guess-
a few people like offering to do things, and so we've got to have that conversation. I think it should happen. We do a lot with ginger wings, Jack Blumenthal.
Right.
It's Heston Blumenthal's son, and he told me his dad didn't blow up till he was 44. You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But Jack is one we could possibly do something with. He's got great business in Marlow, and people you get on with.
Yeah.
So you could do something like he'd do the food side, we'd just be like behind it, the name, and you know. So there's plenty of things in the pipeline. But as I said to you, you just haven't got time.
Because you're here, there, and everywhere.
It's just like my phone. Look, it's non-stop, absolutely non-stop.
Yeah.
You know. So how could I run another business
Yeah.
as well while you're doing all this? You've
So
got to-
what's happening to the cheese business now? Is that still?
Still got it. Say J.S. Bailey, the firm that backed me through, they do sort of all the orders now.
Right.
They do it all through them.
Yeah.
So just get a little commission of what they do. So it's still going.
Yeah.
Still going. So it's always there if I need to go back, but I can't see myself going back to cheese. I'll do something else.
Yeah.
It's when you come out of it, you realise.
Oh, mate, and also look, you have periods of your life. You have like phases of your life, right? Where it's okay then to move on.
But you've always
People try
done
and
it because
pigeonhole.
you didn't know anything else.
That's it.
And when you've got bills to pay,
Yeah.
how can you just say, right, I'm stopping doing that?
Well, for me, it's like, you know, run in the PR agency. I've been working in PR 16 years, running the agency for 10. I love doing this. This is if I could do this forever, that'd make me really happy. Just interviewing people and getting to know who people are, why they are.
We said though, we've got the mics, we've got a thing on YouTube now. Quite a following.
Yeah.
We could go out to events, do our own interviewing.
Absolutely could, yeah.
Just put stuff on YouTube.
The way the
then I
media's
would
going.
be called a YouTuber.
You'd be happy to be.
Yeah.
The way the media's going, though.
I don't watch telly anymore. I sit and watch YouTube.
I'm saying, yeah.
And that's me. I'm old school. I'm an old fuddy-duddy.
But you'll still watch.
I'll never sit down now and put ITV on BBC One.
Yeah.
I don't do it.
Yeah.
I might watch something on catch up.
Yeah.
But I don't sit down now like years ago. I used to sit and just put the telly on, just turn it over.
And you just know what's going to come on.
Now I'll just do what I've got to do. Then when I want to go on YouTube, type in what I want to see.
Yeah. What sort of stuff are you watching?
I just like watching all the boxing interviews, all the boxing fights.
Yeah.
I like we went to Texas with Johnny with Ergovich, and when we come back, the night I got back, I put YouTube on it. It had the Texas killing fields, about 2 mass murderers that were where we were near when we went to Galveston.
Oh, no way.
And you just I like watching all them like documentaries.
Yeah.
And I'm a history buff, as I said, so I like watching anything historical, battles and.
Who's your favourite boxer from all history?
That's a good question as well. Obviously, you've got Muhammad Ali, Rocky Marciano, but for me, I think the one is Lennox Lewis, and I've talked to him every now and again on socials as well. I think he's the one you've got to look up to.
Mate, he's phenomenal.
Because he got beat and he come back from them defeats.
It was good to see him actually in the build-up to Tyson's fight.
Yeah.
It was good to see him kind of, a little bit more prominent again.
And I think if he was about today, he'd beat everyone. Do
you reckon?
Yeah, I think he was just.
He'd probably say the same thing.
I've got the size of him, the speed of him, the durability of him. Yeah. I don't think you could argue against it.
Yeah.
But when you watch the fights like Holyfield in, and then you had Riddick Bowe in that era, and Razor Ruddock and Tyson. Yeah. Great era.
How do you feel about the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight?
I think it's a sham. Absolute sham. Tyson's obviously taking some money in there to go and get beat. He's a 60-year-old man. People realise he had his last fight 20 odd years ago and he got beat by someone that would never even lace his gloves then.
Yeah.
He's 60.
Yeah.
Jake Paul's built himself up. God knows what he's been on or doing. He's built himself up now. But
we'll watch it, right? You'll watch it?
As I said this, I disagree with it, but we'll all watch it.
We'll all watch it, of course.
We'll all watch it.
Because why? We want to see it. We want to see...
It's like the Misfits. When that first started, I thought, it ain't bad if people want to train and do it, but I've turned off that now.
You don't think it's good for good for boxing?
No. Well, you can see their numbers are dropping.
Right.
Massively.
Yeah.
When you got Jake Paul, it's big. When you got KSI, it's big. Yeah. But other than that, and some of the fights are absolutely shocking.
Yeah.
Absolutely shocking.
I've got to admit, I don't watch loads.
I've only seen little snippets
couple of
it
bits
now.
of Misfits.
But there's people in there that shouldn't be in there. And then they think they're boxers. They're holding belts up. Load of rubbish. And then I know what proper boxers go through.
Yeah, because you see it.
Because I see it day in, day out. Proper boxers go through. But it's all, as we said, it's a business.
Yeah.
If they're putting bums on seats, but I do think their numbers are dwindling. Yeah. It's only when the big ones are doing it that it's, because they're in like a lot of small halls now and it's not as big. So that'll have its day. But something will happen there when someone gets seriously hurt as well, which I hope doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But you can see it coming.
You can see it happening.
Yeah.
Do you still enjoy Bosh as a concept, as a phrase? I've spoken to a few people, one of which had like a TV catchphrase that people constantly want them to say to them. Does it ever get like, oh yeah, all right, I'll say it again?
No, because
you enjoy it.
Again, Bosh found me. I didn't go looking for Bosh. I never used to say it, and I just said it in one video as a like a joke. I just went Bosh. Didn't think nothing of it. Done another videos. Johnny will tell you, I had thousands of messages. Why are you not saying Bosh? Why are you not saying Bosh? We like the way you say it. We like the way you say it. And whenever I don't do a video now, I say Bosh. Why are you not saying it? Why are you not saying it? And then when obviously I brought in the variations of the countries, that's what's got me following. Le Bosh, Ye Bosh, Yamas Bosh, Yariva Bosh, Z Bosh, El Bosh, Il Bosh. It's brought all the countries. Yeah. And people love that.
My favourite thing, I saw a video of you the other day with Smash or Pass.
What was that?
A few girls, I don't know where you were.
Might have been at a race course.
It looked like a race course. And somebody said, I'm sorry, but pass. And you went, no Bosh.
Yeah. Really they put me on the spot with them ones, you think, bloody hell. But, why am I going to get the ump with someone asking me to say Bosh? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, let it go as long as it can. But a lot of people say Bosh. A lot of different people say Bosh.
Yeah.
But people like the way I say it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, like television presenters, they say it at the end now, and other people say it.
Of course.
It's spread all round, but let as many people say it as possible.
Yeah.
Let it spread, but people just like the way I say it.
Yeah.
It's not just Bosh. It's like, Bosh. So, you know.
And the boys do it as well.
Yeah, it must piss people off as well. People must see that and go, look at that, look at him, fat C-U-N-T, and you know what I mean? Well, good luck to you because I'm doing all right.
Well, you're doing all right. That's the thing. It's, you know, a lot of people can knock, you know, social media, you know.
It's got its bad parts, but it's also got its good parts.
Yeah, I mean, on the bad parts, comments, negativity, do you get much?
The only negativity, I get loads. You know, but then like, I might have a video that's got 20,000 likes, and you might get 10 bad comments.
Right.
So I don't take it personally. The ones I take personally, and I do take them personally, is when like saying, oh, this fat bastard, he's the reason the NHS is crumbling. Right. Well, I've paid into the NHS every week of my life. Yeah. I've helped raise thousands of pounds for the NHS. So I'm not the reason that's crumbling. And touch wood, I very rarely go to the doctors. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's what gets me, and it's probably someone that's never fucking done a day's work in their life saying it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You've always got to question the motivations of people that are negative, because nobody that's succeeded in life will ever put somebody else down.
No, I wish anyone, if you're doing this, good luck. Do you know what I mean? If other people are doing things, as long as I'm happy with what I'm doing, I couldn't care less.
Yeah, just chucking positivity out there rather than...
There's people with a lot more than me, always had more than me.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah. But there's people with a lot less than me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so you always feel grateful for what you got.
Yeah.
You can go home, put food on the table, roof above your head.
Yeah.
Kids love you, your wife loves you. You're the richest man in the world.
Yeah.
You are, you know?
So do you respond to those comments?
Some I do. And like if I don't like them, like what they've come across.
What do you say?
I'll just answer them, but 9 times out of 10 I'll just delete and block.
You do?
Yeah, because you give yourself peace then, because you find yourself arguing with people, and some of them love it when you just.
Mate, what's that saying? Is, you know, don't fight with a pig because both of you will get muddy, but one of you will enjoy it.
And my wife says to me, "What are you replying for? What are you replying for?" Then she'll read the comments. She go, "My God," you know. I had a funny one, Coogan Cassius. You know, does IFL TV. He does a lot with the boxing.
Yes.
And he I was having Twitter's the worst, right? Twitter, they gang up on you. There's horrible people on Twitter, gang up on you. And I was going backwards and forwards with this one, that one. Coogan Cassius rang me up. He said, "John, just delete them, just block them, don't argue with me." Yeah, all right, Coogan, you're right. Then the next day, he's having a massive gang with people on Twitter. It's easier said than done.
That's the thing.
If anyone says something to my face, I can take it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I can take it. But when they're hiding,
it's anonymous. When
they're hiding, no face. I say, even online, if anyone says it with their name and who they are, bring it on. Yeah. I can accept that, but not when they're not showing you who they are.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got something to say, you should be accountable for it.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I mean, so many people just aren't because it's so anonymous, and it's easy to be
exactly.
anonymous.
You can do whatever you want, but you can accuse anyone of anything with no repercussions, and it's terrible.
I've noticed YouTube comments are quite funny as well.
All I read is Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, I don't read the YouTube.
I've got a bit of a thing. It's like I've always said to clients, it's like don't read the good, don't read the bad. You know, just keep doing you know the positive things that you're doing. Somebody will always have something to say. Will they put the effort in that you do? Will they do the things that you do? Don't read the good, don't read the bad. So I'm trying. Obviously, this is still relatively small, but you know it's getting there. I had some incredible people, and thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
But you know, some of them, it's just like what, like. I don't understand what compels people to take the time out of their day to be negative.
Yeah, I know, be negative. Listen, you can have an opinion, but always try and be respectful with that opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I might, like I said about Misfits, I don't really agree with it. But when it first came out, I said, if people are working hard, they're doing it. And even now, if people are putting their heart and soul into it, fair play to them. Yeah. But it's not for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not being horrible. I'm just saying that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, if people talk like that, you can accept that. It's when they get nasty but it's never going to change.
What's the nastiest you've had? And have you ever had anything in person?
Nothing in person.
No one. That's funny, isn't it?
Everyone's as good as gold to your face.
I guess you bring a smile to people's faces. I think that's what you do. Yeah. So I think most people in person will just be happy to see
No one in person yet. You know, you might have one round the corner, but again, not even had negative comments to my face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's people that just hide behind the screen.
Yeah. When you walk around here, does everybody know you?
Yeah, like if I walk out here, it'll be like this ain't sounding flash because it's not me. The window will go down, Big John Bosh and beer and you know. Yeah. I mean, where was we? We come out of the boxing, was in Leeds. on Saturday night, Jack Catterall Taylor. Thankfully, Match would give us tickets. We was ringside right at the front. But when you come out, it's free for all.
Yeah.
And like, you had people from Scotland there for Taylor. You had Chorley with Catterall. There was Irish there. So you're mobbed. And I'm with Johnny.
Yeah.
It took us like an hour.
I guess you're both well known for different things, right?
Yeah, but that's when it drains you a bit.
Yeah.
Because everyone's drunk.
Right,
they all mean well.
Right, yeah.
They all mean well. No aggression. No.
Yeah.
But they all mean well. They're all over you.
They're
They're
all
slurping
tactile
over you,
and all, yeah.
and you're tired,
Yeah.
and you just want to get home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's when. And I have to. I'm not worried about me. I have to worry about Johnny. He's fighting in 6 weeks. Do you know what I mean? If anyone touches him the wrong way or...
Mate, all it takes is that one person.
No,
he's
just
had a bit too much to drink.
But everyone was as good as gold, but
Right.
it was all drunk.
But it's just knackering.
Yeah, it's tiring,
Yeah.
but you can't be horrible to anyone.
Yeah.
And we never would.
Yeah.
So whoever comes up to you, yeah, of course you can. Yeah,
Because
right.
you get those things where people then they'll remember that one negative.
And I'm not
then,
like that. And I wouldn't want anyone to be horrible to one of my sons if they're
Yeah.
asking for a photo
Yeah.
or a video, because we're not up our own backsides that you
Yeah.
can't. But it's just that's when it's hard at the end of the night, when you're trying to get into your cab, and
So
then you
where
wait.
do you reckon this goes then? So, do you reckon is not to talk about kind of follower count and things like that, but do you see this continuing for?
It's whether
years?
it continues
What
or
do you
not.
think?
I don't know. I couldn't answer that, but I do know once you touch wood, built up a certain amount of followers, you can always earn a bit of a living.
Yeah.
So you can always sort of earn money from it.
Yeah, yeah.
Not regular, as we said.
Yeah.
Be sporadic. And listen, my followers are going up at a rate now faster than ever before.
Really.
And we're going back to Australia. Hopefully we're going back to America. We've been out to Las Vegas a few times. So just keep going with it, you know. Just keep going with it. See where it goes.
See what opportunities come up. I mean,
and the
again,
important one is Johnny.
Yeah.
He's Johnny, So help him on his career as much as I can. As a dad, I don't get involved in anything professionally, but as a dad, I'll help him and be there for him. And if the opportunities come for me to see the world and
and act and things like
why
that.
not?
Again,
I might be in Hollywood next year, mate.
Yeah, there you go, mate.
Yeah, see, might be in Hollywood.
So, talking about Roadhouse 2, there we go.
Imagine that, Roadhouse 2. Fucking hell. If they need someone to sweep the roads, I'm your man.
You said about charity work. What sort of stuff are you doing at the minute?
We do a bit, I do a bit with we've got a Bosh bets thing. People might not agree with it, but I've always football bets.
Yeah.
And I've always done football bets my whole life, so I wouldn't do anything I wouldn't do myself.
Yeah.
And whenever we get winnings, we donate it to Haven House Children's Hospice, local children's hospice. I went out. Henry Oscar Moores is walking from Manchester to Ibiza.
Right.
Me and Johnny went out there at our own expense to help him, give him a bit of a boost. Because he's the Tony Hudgell Foundation. We do a lot of charity football matches. You don't like to go on too much about what you do.
No, but that's why I asked, because people won't talk about it themselves, so I want to draw it out.
Yeah, we try and do what we can. You can't do everything for everyone.
No.
We get hundreds of messages.
I bet you do. I mean, on
charities
again,
and you can't do everything for everyone, which is a shame. But we try and help where we can. And Johnny won't talk about it. Johnny does a lot for charities, but people won't see that. Do you know what I mean? And you don't want to talk about it because you want to get brownie points. I just feel it's good to give something back.
If you can, you absolutely should.
And I ain't giving a lot back, don't get me wrong, but whatever I can give back.
Yeah. If everybody did that, mate, wouldn't the world be a better place?
Well, we was talking about this the other day. I want to, for Haven House Hospice, like when you go there and hear their stories about the children, and there was a young boy there, come to one of Johnny's fights, and his mum and dad, I think he was 13, forgive me, I don't know his name, Johnny knows his name, come to his couple of fights ago, and his heart could stop at any time. Normal young boy. And he passed away, and that hit Johnny hard,
That's
because
horrible.
it's just, but when you go to Haven House and you see what the staff are doing, what a job they do, I think if you can raise anything, just help them, and I was talking about this the other day, I want to do a challenge of some sort, but I don't know what quite challenge, because I'm not fit enough to walk from Manchester to Ibiza, I wouldn't mind being locked in a prison cell for a week or something. Do you know what I mean? For charity. Something just take you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So if anyone's got any ideas, I want to do something for Haven House Hospice, but something
a little bit out there.
Something I can do, take no longer than a couple of weeks.
Yeah. I mean, on that note, would you ever do, or have you even been approached for like reality TV things over the years, like your I'm a Celebrities? You know,
listen, I'm a celebrity. A few people have said, "Oh, I'll be good on it. I'll be good on it." I was with Nelly Rose actually.
Right.
Who was on it? I was with her doing the Channel 4 thing last week, and for that, I think they have to fill criterias. And I'm not well known. Well, I could be well known. I'm more probably well known than Southern to go on there.
Yeah,
but I'm a fat old white bloke. Do you know what I mean? I probably don't fit their criteria, and I haven't done enough to go on there.
Yeah.
You know, and you've got a lot bigger people than me wanting to go on there. I'll tell you what would be good for me, Strictly, because I can't dance.
Right.
And it could help me lose a bit of weight.
There you go. I mean, you lost like 6 stone at one point, didn't you?
I've still lost it. It's still got. I might have put that one back on because I've been doing so much.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you've been.
I'm being weighed in 2 weeks.
Right.
So I know I haven't been as disciplined as I have been. But yeah, I've initially took that lump off.
Fair play, mate.
But I've got to go again.
Yeah.
You know, I've got to go again.
Have you got a goal, or are you just?
Not really. Just keep trying to eat healthy when I can. Even though I've had chicken burger and chips. But I haven't eaten it all. Look.
No, mate.
I haven't eaten all my chips. See, now the old me would eat that and yours.
Really?
That's the truth.
Right.
So yeah. So it's just about not being as big as much.
Just portion control. Then.
But again, with me, like yesterday or the day before we did the filming.
Yeah.
We sat in here. Ken done us a feast, and then we had to go and film at my house eating Chinese. So it's not ideal.
Yeah.
But it's your work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know people say you ain't got to eat it, but I'm not that disciplined. If it's in front of me, I've got to eat it.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing Strictly.
Right.
Whether I get asked to do it or not, because I'm useless at dancing.
Right.
Absolutely useless at dancing. So celebrity, I think, is a bit out of my reach. Obviously, a lot bigger people than me go on it, but that would be good because you hate your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like what I was just saying, I want to be taken out of my comfort zone.
Would you do it like a Celebrity Big Brother?
Yeah, if people ask me, but again, I don't see myself as enough celebrity to go on there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah.
So when people ask you, you feel a bit.
I mean, it's funny. Like it's.
You feel a bit funny.
You could say that, but you know, you probably are better known than lots of people that.
Yeah, you probably are because we're like on the last lot of celebrity. I didn't know who half of them were.
Yeah.
But that just because I don't know who they are, I don't mean.
That's true. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's so many different demographics now.
Yeah.
In the
They
world.
always want to get like a few YouTubers.
That's what I say. Like with celebrity, that's what I said. Like they've probably got enough people like me to go on there, so they want different variations. Because if you look, it's so varied now.
Yeah.
You know, and I liked I'm a Celebrity. I used to watch it all the time, but I turned off it when I had Matt Hancock on it.
Right.
Because
of course.
I can't stand that man. What he did, and for him to benefit out of it, he said he was giving it all to charity, didn't he? Give about 40 grand of it.
Yeah, I did see
You
that.
know, for him to benefit and people actually vote for him, I just thought it's not for me.
Yeah.
You know, and that's me being honest.
Might have been a bit of a wrong turn.
That's me being honest, you know. But I suppose they do it because it's controversial.
Of course it is. It's going to get people watching.
But
that's the thing.
He's the one person I said I'm not hateful towards people, but I couldn't be nice to him.
Right.
We was offered him to come on our Big John Chinese sit down.
Right.
Someone we knows a friend of his, and I refused because I said I wouldn't be able to control myself.
Yeah.
And whether that's
something
right
to
or
say.
wrong,
Yeah.
you know, he's
you're
the one
a
that
human being.
ruined like people's lives. You couldn't see dying people. You couldn't, and he's banging someone else's wife. Do you know what I mean? It's just I can take it if he's doing what he's saying.
Do you know what? That was the only time that I got mad during the whole thing, during the whole of lockdown, was when the party stuff came out. And I thought, I've been running a business, I've been pulling myself,
So I said, people
myself,
that
my
businesses
family.
didn't realise you lose.
Mate, it
people
was
lost their
hard.
business. People lost their lives. But when you're being told not to do this,
Yeah,
you
and
can't.
and then you see they're doing it. That's
and
the
people
only.
say, "Oh, it ain't a big deal." It is a big deal if you couldn't go to your mum's funeral,
100%.
or you couldn't go to your son's funeral, you couldn't be with your dad when he was dying.
Yeah.
It is a big deal,
It's a huge deal.
and people have forgotten that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's when you see Hancock, him, and all that. What they was doing, do as I say, not as I do.
Very much so.
This is what we've been saying.
Yeah.
If they were sticking to it, fair enough, we'll do it. But
Mate.
we've gone down a path we didn't want to go down. Talking about Matt Hancock, he always gets me.
It's just
And he once he on a video he went Bosh, didn't he? And I
didn't see that.
And I did a thing and I said, Matt Hancock, you are not a Bosh soldier.
I did not see that.
Yeah, fucking hell.
No.
Pardon my French.
That's all right.
Yeah.
No, all good. On that note, you and Tom Skinner mates.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
go back a long way with Tom
Yeah.
Skinner.
He's just down the road, isn't he?
Yeah, he's down the road. I've known Tom for a few years. You know?
Yeah.
Don't see him that much a lot lately. But yeah,
He's a busy boy nowadays. Anyway.
He's always busy, and good luck to him. You know, he's a local boy, family man.
Yeah.
And he says Bosh a lot, and he was like when we was first with him. But I say it different to him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just a different.
Very much.
But I couldn't have done nothing but help him because all his businesses were called Bosh. So if I'm going around saying
So if
Bosh,
you're doing it, you're helping him
if
too.
I'm going around saying Bosh, yeah, helping him. But yeah.
Brilliant. Mate, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Cheers, John. Much appreciated, man.
Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed that one. It was fun. It was really silly. It was everything I wanted it to be. So a really, really nice chat. And just wish John and his family all the best. Good guys. Salt of the earth types. Right. If you want to follow us, you can follow us Starting Line Show on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. You can follow us, the Starting Line Podcast, on Facebook, LinkedIn. I did mention it in the last one, and it is on my mind that I might be changing things up branding-wise, or just not a different direction, but slightly moving things on. Everything again has a starting line, and everything evolves, and no such constant is change and all that stuff. So I just want to make this the best it can be, and that might end up happening. Not right now, but maybe soon. So keep an eye out for that sort of thing. I've got ideas. I've always got ideas. Right. Have a good one. Give me a shout, hello@startinglinepod.com. See the website, startinglinepod.com. If you want to get in touch, guest suggestions, sponsorship ideas, all of this stuff, anything, even just to say hi. I'm done. Goodbye. Forever. See you in a bit.